My goodness, off the porch with it. Let's see how this works out. This is my first time with it up. I got a bunch of stuff that I don't quite know how to work all that well yet. So, yeah, let's see what's going on here. Yeah. So, first thing I'm going to do is make sure that it's actually live and that I'm not messing up what I'm doing here. Oh, I am actually live. So, let's see how this works out. If you hear, say what's up. Drop a note in the chat. It looks like it's one or two people here listening. So this is my first time with this new setup. Bit of a delay. I got equipment to my left, all right, and equipment to my left, but we figuring it out. And you know how it goes. If this sucks, I'm not leaving it up. But once for grow the heck up. So let's see. Yeah, so here we go. So much going on. So of course it would be, you know, it wouldn't be grow the heck up if we didn't discuss current events. Oh, we are here, and I can see the live stream. No, this is not a prank. Okay, so I got new software, I got new equipment, I got new microphone, I got new headphones. I'm literally new to a lot of this stuff. So I see Brie K in the building. And I got super encouraged. The homie who I recognize, shout out to Robert Bradley. Oh, I see you too, good brother. Oh, another person in the building. So here we go. Yeah. All right, cool. Acclimated. I got my Restream subscription. I got the Roadcaster to my right. I got my microphone arm. So please bear with me. Give me feedback after. Let me know if you can't hear me, if it's too loud, if the sound is going in and out. Because once I start getting busy with the theatrics, what begins to happen. I get a little excited, and the platforms are different. And look at my friends showing up. Look at you guys. It's grow the heck up. Race, religion, music, culture, health, community, or politics, hip hop, and the Bible. A lot going on out here in these streets. What else would we be talking about if it wasn't Kanye West? I missed you guys too. Also, follow Grow the Heck Up on Instagram. They took my account at 17,000, so it's Grow the Heck Up. But you know how to find us. You know what it is. Just look for the best memes. So, so much going on with Kanye West, man. Kanye West is getting canceled left and right. And of course, that's what every YouTuber is talking about. I've been thinking very intentionally about how I wanted to frame the content on the channel, where I wanted to go with it, what I wanted to do. And, I don't just want to be another talking head like, did you see what happened today? Did you see what happened today? But the biblical perspective on popular culture is just what I do. So, saw the Candace Owens documentary, some of the Kanye controversy. Before he got to the Jews, the outrage was over the George Floyd commentary. And if you have, listen to me, if you have not seen Candace Owens' documentary, you need to go see it. I was debating with the brother back and forth on Instagram. He was questioning whether or not, of course, listen, I believe a lot of narratives. I still get duped. So when I have an opinion, I really try to hold it with an open hand, because how about you have the right opinion on the wrong situation? That happens to me. That if what I believe about the circumstance is true, then my perspective may be apropos. But what if I don't have the correct information? How could my perspective be correct? So I watched this Candace Owens documentary. We believers here. I don't take Candace Owens as a believer. The most I've ever heard her say is that being a conservative even helped her get in touch with her Christian roots. That's not a confession of Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, so I don't have a Christian expectation. Most of the time, I'm just picking through worldviews. Once I know someone's not a Christian, if they say that they're not a Christian, then I'm just really picking through the perspectives to see where I align, and then I'm giving my opinion. Oh, shoot. CHHTS is in the building. Oh, shoot. I got the stars out tonight. I got Brie K. I got CHHTS. I got DVS1. I got Philly Phil. What's up? Salute and God bless you. So I watched this Candace Owens documentary, right? And, I didn't know what to expect. So I just went into it with an open mind, even though I have sort of a expectation of Candace that she is going to be factual, even when I don't agree with the perspective on the facts, right? Man, listen to me. If you have not seen this documentary, maybe it's not of interest to you, but if you have not seen the documentary and you're interested in what was going on with this George Floyd case, man, you prepare for a shock. Prepare for a shock. So I'll give you some tidbits, some spoilers. It's a documentary. It's not like it's a movie. So one of the things that you might want to know is that the lethal dose of fentanyl, I don't have notes or anything, so I'm winging it. And like I said, make this joint lit, because if it's whack, I'm deleting it. You know how I do. So the lethal amount of fentanyl that you can have in your system is 3 nanograms. 3 nanograms is the lethal amount to have in your system that could kill you. George Floyd had 11 nanograms. And one thing you're going to encounter is that there are 2 medical examiners who have given accounts of what happened. Now, they both come to 2 different conclusions, but it's so interesting that they already have, they still say the same thing. Here's what I mean. So George Floyd had 11 nanograms of fentanyl in his system. The lethal dose is 3, right? The medical examiner Candace Owens had on her documentary, he walked through how he went through the medical exam. He said he goes right to the cardiology report. He broke down how he came to his conclusion. He said George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose. Now, the other guy who testified in the George Floyd trial, his last name was Baker. He was a medical examiner. And listen, body language tells some of the story, but body language doesn't tell all of the story, right? But he's on the stand looking like he's under pressure, but you can't really count that to whether or not he's being honest, because it's a high profile case. A lot's riding on it, so to speak. But the disposition of the 2 is something that I found interesting, right? So let me not derail too much. So the medical examiner who testified on the stand, and then I'm learning how to work this software. Next time we coming back with screenshots and all of that type of stuff. He said on the stand that George Floyd died from complications due to the knee being on his back and so forth and so on, right? But he was asked a critical question. He said, when asked, did George Floyd have enough in his system to kill him, the guy on the stand testified and said, yes, if there were no other circumstances and I found George Floyd in his living room, I would have definitely come to the conclusion that the fentanyl killed him. And also, it was piggybacked. Yeah, and I know someone who knows Eric Garner, who got killed in Staten Island over cigarettes, right? So it almost like it piggybacked on that. We can't breathe. But George Floyd was saying that he couldn't breathe before they put him on the floor. I knew I forgot that detail. He was also saying, I can't breathe, and asking to be put on the floor. He was like, just put me on the ground. They put him on the ground. Someone I know who's married to a cop said that at the very least, it should have been negligent homicide. Because if he's saying he can't breathe, at the very least, they should have gotten medical attention and been more attentive to his needs. However, from they walk up, George Floyd is pulling stunts. He's lying about whether or not he's high. He's saying he's claustrophobic, so he can't be in the police car. I don't know. If I were a police officer, I would already be distrustful of anything the guy is trying to say. Asked him if he was high. He said no. What else? Oh, yeah. They found a chewed up pill on the floor that was a mixture of fentanyl and meth. And it wasn't entered into evidence. Medical examiner on one side said he doesn't know why it wasn't entered into evidence. And when George Floyd was laying on the floor, another thing he said was, I took too many drugs. And then, of course, there was a picture floating around social media that I saw, but I really didn't give it any credence because, it's social media. Just because I'm looking at the picture doesn't mean it's telling the truth. A lot of us have seen those memes where they're like, they show somebody and it looks like they're giving the middle finger, and then they show you another angle of the picture. So I didn't really know. So once I saw the knee on the neck, anything contrary to that, I kept in mind, but I never gave it any credence. I took it at face value. Knee was on the neck. This was a callous guy. He didn't care whether or not it was racist or not. I don't know, because people are hateful. You know, when you attach race to everything, it's almost like there's this fictional world you create that white people just love each other so much that if white people get killed by the police, white people abuse each other and they kill each other as well. So it's not always good to assume that someone's being some way to someone just because they're black, right? So I ran with the narrative. Knee is on the neck. Listen, when you see the other angle, I have to tell you, it does not appear that his knee was on George Floyd's neck. It was on his back. Is that any better? I'm not a police officer, don't know what the procedures are, but a guy that's already trying to evade arrest. He was already like, no, listen, I'm not going to go anywhere. Just let me stand up. Chill. He was already trying to wither and weasel and sliver out of the situation. Then they put him in the car. He's like, nah, chill. I can't breathe. I'm claustrophobic. Put me on the floor. I confident that this is going to be a cooperative person. So I don't know what the procedures are. I don't know what I wouldn't want to say what I would do if I was in a situation like that. But when you look at the picture from the other angle, it does appear that his knee was on his back and not his neck. Now, especially from what I learned from someone who had experience with drug addicts and fentanyl, and police are supposed to give Narcan and all this kind of stuff, it still could have been considered abusive. It still could have contributed and look like and it was exasperated by the stress and all of that. So Kanye West ref Candace Owens documentary in passing, and man, I'll tell you something, Kanye's something else, because for worse, with all the canceling, I'm seeing all kind of YouTubers, Muslim YouTubers, conscious YouTubers. Everybody's talking about what Kanye referenced, and now the clips of Candace Owens' documentary are going around. Then here comes Kanye talking about the Jews and the Jewish people. I've been thinking very carefully about the comments about Jewish people that Kanye's making. I think part of the comments go to the extreme, but when I contextualize it, I'm in conservative circles. Conservative people speak generally about black people. Even some people that are not black, I hear people say, well, the black community, if they're teen pregnancy, nobody says anything. The black community, the black on black crime, the black community needs to, in the realm of discussing people get discussed in generalities, no problem. Now, of course, we know the other side. I've seen this so much as well. The Democrat crowd. I've never seen so many open black racists in my life. A couple of years ago, I was saying, hey, a lot of the open hostility and vitriol racially, you got to go underground to catch some of the open white racism. It's kind of slicker. I said, but the people this was a couple of years ago. I said, a lot of the people who I see online who are showing the most open vitriol and racial hostility are black people. And, of course, I get the pushback. Oh, you don't love yourself. You don't love your people. Listen, I'm from the P's. I'm from the projects. I can tell you how I was raised. Just because it's how I was raised doesn't mean that it applies to everybody. But I'll tell you something. I wasn't raised to have any type of respect or consideration for white people's feelings. So listen, it's even open. Oh, white people don't season their food. Never mind that black people, 55% of adult black people have high blood pressure. So maybe you need to chill on the seasoning. But that's another story. You know what the jokes are. They can't dance. They can't dunk. You already know TikTok debunks that. White people dancing and dunking on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, if you're honest with yourself, it's like it's not only accepted, it's really encouraged. Quickly, I can find people, and that's another thing too. A lot of the racism that I see that's against, black, non-white people, I'll say. A lot of it's from troll accounts, people hiding their identity. You got people in positions running for office wholesale talking about white people this and these white people this and white power. Because let me tell you how white people think. And it's almost like, all right, I'm not saying either is right, but one of my biggest things is always going to be the scales. The scales are not the same. And a lot of times with Trump, we used to like to say 4D chess. We really don't know whether or not Trump was playing chess or blundering, cleaning it up or whatever. You just really don't know, right? Some like to think Kanye's playing 4D chess. Like he's pushing to get canceled because he has other plans and ideas and stuff like that. I don't know whether or not that's true, but I do know it's going to be very interesting because as much as he's getting canceled, some of the conversation that I see is like, yo, he's point and saying some of the things I'm saying. Here we go. Okay, we'll see. We shall see. Hold on. Rock with me. Let me see if we still. Let me see if we still pushing. It looked like the stream stopped. Ooh, hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. So I see. Let me see. So I see the chats here uh on my phone. Oh, everybody's saying we back OG. So I just don't have the chat here. So let me try to not to do the chat overlay. All right, let me chill out. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. Firm. Bing bong. I think we're back. You guys say we're back here. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, man, Kanye professes to be a believer. Only God knows. Because I do have to say, Kanye says a lot of things that are contrary to what I understand scripture to say. And, you know, but I don't know where he is. I can only imagine how, people, I hear people, especially like when new Christians and new believers who have a public lifestyle, people are so quick to be like, yo, they need discipleship. Of course they do. Of course they do. But I also could imagine how hard it is to trust people. I was on Instagram the other night talking about, how the church just loves and fawns over celebrity so much. It almost makes you wonder who has the precious treasure sometimes. New believers come in looking for treasure, looking for hope, looking for what it is that we have, eternal security and all of that type of stuff. And we're trying to get on with them. I know somebody who is a friend of Foxy Brown, and back in the days, walking into the church, over and was like, watch, when I walk in here, all these people are going to be sweating me. So superstars know that the church bike rides them. So anyway, not to excuse jury. But again, I'm not even in the conversation with Kanye as a Christian at this point. I'm just in it for where he is with the social commentary. And so I'm not going to stay too long because this was just a first time test and I just want to see what the deal is. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah. Testing. Hold on. If you're still here, hit me with another couple of comments. Yeah. figuring out how this works, right? Not so bad. Not so bad. Could have done without the hoodie because I'm sweating a little bit. But yeah, we're surviving. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And somebody said, it seems like he has a bit of Black Hebrew Israelite too. But you learn things from I've learned things from Hebrew Israelites that I still hold to be true right now that I've never heard average mainstream denominations teach. And it's not anything that made me a Hebrew Israelite. It's not anything that made me change my denomination or any of that. Greatly humbled because there's some things that have been presented to me years ago. So it's not like new. I'm not on a new wave or anything, but say that before. So where I think he's messing up is even with the way he's wording it, saying blood of Christ. Well, what does that mean? Blood of Christ. Have any? So what do you mean by that, right? So who knows? Kanye's all over the place with a lot of things. He's talking about chakras. And he's talking about porn. So you just don't know. So I'm really trying to stick to the commentary that he's making on the social stuff. And you know, man, it seems like I'm beating a dead horse with that, man. But like the whole like, yo, man, so it's only okay to degrade Black people, but I can't put that on Jewish people. I can't put that on white people because, you know, Jews don't put out self-deprecating music and content and then try to tell the world not to treat them that way. You know what I'm saying? So I can't put that on another community and say, well, it's okay for, listen, we have Black billionaires now. So whatever ignorant music that Jewish music executives, being specific, not just Jewish people, right? Whatever evil content that Jewish music executives are putting out that's Black people degrading and killing each other. Jay-Z's a billionaire. His rhymes have gotten more positive over the years, but he still owns Rock Nation. Rock Nation got managing all of these dudes who push the same stuff. So, you know, I don't think that Jewish people should be held accountable for that. It could be part of the conversation. They had Leo Cohen on the Breakfast Club, and they were asking him about pushing out music that's, you know, detrimental and all of that. But they never asked the rappers that make the music that, though. Right? You know, they push back a little bit sometimes, but so almost like who you put more responsibility on. You put more responsibility on the Jewish executive. You know, it's that inferiority privilege stuff again. You know, I really hate when people have more expectations of white people than they do their own community. So you claim the system is racist. White people don't know what we go through. They can't understand. You'll never know what it's like to walk in my shoes. Okay, so what's your realistic expectation? Right? So you think that the Jewish music executives who doesn't understand you, don't know what it's like to walk in your shoes, can't relate to you and all of that, you have expectations of him, but not the other Black people who should know what it's like, who should have more empathy and more compassion. I just can't get that. Just seems like inferior thinking to me. I cannot bring myself to expect more of people outside of a community that I'm in than I expect of the people in the community themselves. So yeah, man, that's where we at with it. Maybe when I come back, I don't know what I'll talk about next. I really want to talk a little bit about slavery in the Bible at some point. I've done that talk before, but I don't know. Everything's brand new. We're gonna come back and do it again. By the way, so this, oh yeah, here we go. How long I'm gonna have this YouTube channel? Let me see. Let me make sure y'all still tuned in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I'm not even talking about like the so somebody mentioned and asked about like, you know, the 12 tribes. I'm just more so talking about like what marks the people of Israel, what did God say about them, how would you be able to recognize them, all kinds of prophecies, and also some historical things, some historical things that have happened. You start getting into 2 Kings 17, and you know, let me not too much, but yeah, something else I wanted to say. Did you know that the so you know, once I start digging, I just start digging. So I'm gonna drop this on you, and you guys tell me what you think. Did you know that in the 1800s, you know, Jewish scholars checked the census from the 1800s in the South? 30% of white households, somewhere around 30% of white households, own slaves. 75+% of Jewish households own slaves, even though they were a smaller proportion of the population. Did you know that? You ever heard that before? It's verifiable. Isn't that interesting? Do you know that allegedly, right? I got to do some more digging. But part of what I'm starting to look into, there's a guy by the name of Judah P. Benjamin. He was the first Jew in a cabinet position in the American government. I'm saying allegedly because I found two sources, but I didn't dig too deep. Allegedly, the KKK was his brainchild. Have you ever heard that? Yeah, so you surprised what you find. It deserves its own talk. But 1830 census looked at by Jewish scholars, 75 plus. It's like more like 78% of Jewish households own slaves in the South, and only 30% of white people own slaves in the South. Who owes you reparations? Oh, chill, don't get me started for the yay me. Yeah, I don't got what he got. So, but yeah, praise be to God. It's all in the pursuit of truths, reaching for balanced scales always, because, false scales are an abomination to the Lord. So, judging righteously is important to God, I believe. God, when people show partiality, he shows no partiality. He tells us not to show partiality, but the truth is the truth. So, yeah, man, that's what it is. That's what it is. So this was my first one. I'm going to leave this up. Believe it or not, I'll keep it a buck with you. Being away for so long, I got self-consciousness that I never had before about going live. I'm like a newbie, if you can believe it. You know what I'm saying? People kind of take me as being so ready to talk and speak and all of that. I'm coming back with much trepidation, whereas before I was like clicking on, I don't care, let's go. So, but praise God, you know what I'm saying? And also, something while I haven't been talking publicly, I've had an opportunity to think about all the interactions I've had, all the talking that I've done. And I've definitely been thinking about in the multitude of words, sin is not lacking. The more you talk, the more likely and inevitable it is that you're going to say something wrong. So it's also made me a bit more careful as well, which is a good thing. So praise be to God. So yeah, leave comments. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what I should talk about. Because, I still, we get busy on anything. Let me know what you think needs to be discussed. If you can still hear me, drop some, the chat is not moving, but, we'll fix that next time. Let me know some of the topics because, like I said, we got the setup. I got the Restream account. I got the, the Roadcaster here. I got the Evernote. I got Evernote on my iPad for my notes. So we're ready to get busy. I know the other day was a false start. Told you guys I was coming back, but it's real. It's real. It's real. So yeah, I think that'll be all for this evening. We're about to get up out of here. Yeah, nice. Not so bad. Getting comfortable again. Yeah, this was with no notes, all off the top of the head. So we're gonna get busy. Look forward to talking with you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I don't even know what time I'm gonna be doing it regularly, but I'm gonna keep tapping back in, and hopefully I'm not gonna wait till I have everything figured out. Not even hopefully, I'm not gonna wait till I have everything figured out, but it feels so good to be back. It's Grow the Heck Up. Race, religion, music, culture, health, politics, hip hop.